What's going on, everybody? This is Economic News Insights, and today we're going to talk about birthright citizenship. After this video, you're going to get all the information you're going to possibly know. You're going to find out why the United States has it, what it means, and you're also going to find out who doesn't have it, and then you're going to find out why they're talking about doing away with it. So let's get into it. So the first thing that you need to know about birthright citizenship, also known as jus soli or right of the soil in Latin, means anyone born in a country automatically becomes a citizen regardless of their parents' nationality or legal status. So what we've seen happen is in the United States, people were crossing the border to give birth to a child, even if they weren't a citizen. So it originally was done in the United States as a matter of something that was, hey, this makes sense, let's do it. But it got abused. As with all things, when things start getting abused, that's when it gets called into question. So it is actually something that was originally done under the 14th Amendment, ratified in 1868 after the Civil War. So when there was a Civil War, this is when it made the most sense. So they made it the 14th Amendment. And it was intended to ensure former slaves and their children were recognized as citizens. Okay, so the text for the 14th Amendment reads, all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction, therefore, are citizens of the United States. So which countries actually allow birthright citizenship? So most of it is going to be in the Americas. You have the United States, Canada, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, and most of the Caribbean and South American countries. So yeah, I mean, if you wanted to have your kid be a citizen of a Caribbean country, I don't know, maybe Barbados or something, you would just go there, give birth, and the next thing you know, you have a Barbados baby who can also be an American because both parents. So this is kind of what ends up happening. Now, there's a lot of countries that don't allow birthright citizenship, such as most of Europe, Asia, Africa, and Oceania. So UK, Germany, France, Italy, Spain, China, Japan, India, Australia, New Zealand, Russia, Saudi Arabia, just a few who do not allow this birthright citizenship. So conditional birthright citizenship, basically what it means, some countries grant citizenship at birth only if one parent is a citizen or permanent resident. Child would otherwise be stateless. So we've seen this happen actually where a woman was flying on a plane and she gave birth in the air over the US, and the baby was automatically considered a US citizen, even though I think the mother was from Saudi Arabia. So I mean, this is something that we've seen quite a bit. I just recently tried to apply for Australian passport because my mother was actually born there, but because when she gave birth to me, she was not an American citizen. I mean, she was not an Australian citizen. I can't get a Australian passport by descent, as they called it, because my mom was an American citizen when I was born fully, and so is my dad. So that kind of means I can't get an Australian passport. I was born in the U.S., but you know how it goes. Anyways, why is birthright citizenship controversial? So arguments for birthright citizenship include it promotes inclusion and equality for all people, protects children from statelessness. So if someone was to give birth as they were an illegal in the United States, illegally here in the United States without documentation, then that child would not be stateless. Okay, so it would have, because who are they going to say? Is it Venezuela's or Mexico's or Costa Rica or Nicaragua's child, or is it the U.S. because the child was born there? So, I mean, there's a little bit of a gray area with that, right? Simple, clear, and easy to enforce. If you're born in the USA, you're a citizen. That's basically what they're saying, regardless of whether or not your parents are citizens or not. Arguments against it, it encourages birth tourism. This is the big thing that was getting abused. So, traveling just to give birth and secure citizenship. And then, you know, they use terms like anchor baby, which is actually considered a derogatory term because it describes a child born to non-citizens in hopes of securing family immigration benefits. This is something that, you know, it's just a term that's thrown around. Then you have jus sanguinis, which is right of blood. Citizenship is based on parents' nationality rather than place of birth. I mean, as you guys know, the United States is a land of immigrants, but at those immigrants that came, whether they be from Ireland or Italy or wherever, they had to go through Ellis Island or ports of entry with legal status. So if you come to the country and you don't have legal status, they call it into question. So if your family came here and they were not citizens legally, or they were not legally supposed to be in the country, and you were born here in the United States, they could say this is a controversial situation because of birth tourism. So another thing that is going on, some U.S. politicians have proposed ending or restricting it, arguing it wasn't meant to apply to children of undocumented immigrants. So this is part of the larger problem, part of the larger argument that we're seeing right now. Thank you to everyone who's smashing up the likes. Bill says, I'll tell you no. And so I'm going to just leave it at that. Let you guys comment what you think is right or not. But, I mean, people are going to, it seems like there's a lot of Americans who are quite against it. Americans of all backgrounds, Latino, people who are of African American descent, European descent, Asian descent, a lot of people who are full blown American citizens. They came through the legal ports of entry. They seem to say this is something that the 14th Amendment needs to be repealed or corrected. So the key takeaways here: birthright citizenship is rare globally, but it's mainly found in the Americas. So if you think it's common, or if you think that the United States is the only country that's trying to do something like this, think again, because most of the countries around the world, including many of the countries in Africa, for example, you can't go to Kenya or Uganda and have a baby and then expect your child to be Ugandan or Kenyan. It's not that easy. It won't happen. But in the Americas, like I said, United States, Canada, Latin American, some of the Latin American countries, you can go there. If you want to have a Brazilian baby, birthright citizenship, or the Caribbean. So it's a major part of the debates on immigration, national identity. I don't know exactly what most of you are going to say. So you guys can leave comments and begin the conversation down below. But it's definitely changing, and people are talking about abolishing it. It's a controversial and complex subject. I know that, but people want to know what birthright citizenship, and hopefully you guys walk away from this video realizing what it was, what it is. Jenny says we should fix this amendment. She's talking about the 14th Amendment. So, I mean, yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the 14th Amendment, birthright citizenship. Should they keep it or should it go away? But as you know, I mean, we've dialed it in here. Sounds like people are already commenting. Most of you guys are saying it's a no-go, but it's quite controversial. And there is many different things to know about it. I mean, we can get into more details, but again, it's one of those things that it got abused, and that's why it's looking to go away. That's why people want to do away with it, because some people were abusing it for birth tourism. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll see you on the next one.